Hello, welcome or welcome back. I'm filming another video, finally. So it's definitely been a while since I have filmed a book haul, at least I think. I have just accumulated quite a few books. My camera is on like 50%, so we're gonna have to go through this a little bit quickly. Also, there are a lot of dogs at the house right now, so if you hear any pitter patter on the floor or little tippy taps, dogs live here. I don't know what to tell you. But I'm just gonna grab and we're gonna go in no particular order. This one I am currently reading and I am obsessed with it. I did pre-order this from Barnes & Noble. So this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of Sweet Venom by Rena Kent. This is the second book in, what is this series called? In the Vipers series. I believe there's going to be 3 books total in this series. This is following one of our main male characters. His name is Jude. This is a dark hockey romance. We're just following the relationship between each character and like another character. I'm being very vague about this. I don't want to say anything to potentially spoil it, but please check your trigger warnings if you are someone who feels that they need to before they read a dark romance specifically, because this is a little bit darker, but I love it. The next book that I actually got from the subscription service that I just recently started, Allurial. They are like a side part of Book of the Month, but it's like fantasy romantasy. And this is Anathema, I think it's Anathema by Carrie Lake. And this edition is just super pretty. The sprayed edges are stunning. This is a book that I have had my eye on for quite a while, and one of my good friends actually recommended this to me very recently too. She said she really loved it, and just how she was talking about it really intrigued me, so I'm so excited. There are whispers about what lurks in Witchnell, the forest where sinners go to die. The villagers call it the Eating Woods because what's taken is never given back. Mavis Bronwick, I think that's how you say her name, knows better than to breach the misty labyrinth of trees, but a tragic turn of events compels her beyond the archway of bones to a boundary no mortal has crossed before, one that cloaks a dark and fantastical world that's as dangerous as it is alluring. It's there that he dwells, the cursed lord of Adolin, the one tasked to keep her hidden from the magehood that seeks to crucify, and here goes the dogs, Zavander Ryden, known to his prey as the Scorpion, is the coldest, most calculated assassin in all of Etheria. Mavis' blood is the key to breaking his despised curse and vanquishing the slumbering evil in Witchnell. Unfortunately for Lord Ryden, we're gonna push through. Fate has other plans for the irresistible little enchantress, and his growing obsession with her threatens to destroy everything, including himself. This sounds really good. I cannot wait to get into this, actually. I'm really excited. Next book I want to talk about is one that I actually got on Pango. So I picked up Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas, and I am very excited for this one. The daughter of a rancher in 1840s Mexico, Nina knows a thing or two about monsters. Let me read, guys. Her home has long been threatened by tensions with Anglo settlers from the north, but something more sinister lurks near the ranch at night, something that drains men of their blood and leaves them for dead. Something that once attacked Nina 9 years ago. Believing Nina dead, Nestor has been on the run from his grief ever since, moving from ranch to ranch working as a vaquero. I'm so sorry. I'm very white. But no amount of drink can dispel the night terrors of sharp teeth. When the United States invades Mexico in 1846, the two are brought abruptly together on the road to war. And unless Nina and Nestor work through their past and face the future together, neither will survive to see the dawn. And I'm excited because it has vampires, and these seem like really scary vampires, not like hot vampires. The next book I'm going to talk about is Road with a Vampire by Jenna Levine. If you watched my last video, I had read the first book in the series. This is the third one, but I read the first book in the series and loved it. I was so obsessed with it. So I bought all the books in the series. Spoiler alert, hated the second one. Hated it, but I'm hoping that I like this one. I just know it's between a vampire and a witch. I don't really know too much else, but this is a paranormal romance. I'm assuming it's going to be really funny. The first one was hilarious. Again, second one was a letdown, but I'm hoping it's really good. The next 2 books I actually got off of Pango because I saw these special editions. I really wanted them. I read the first book, absolutely loved it. It is such a unique fantasy. I want to make sure you guys can see them. I want them to zoom in. And then the side has like gorgeous sprayed edges. The actual hardcovers of the books, hi Joey, are stunning as well. And then inside, again, just really gorgeous artwork. The second one, similar vibes to the first one as far as like the hardcover and stuff, but this one's in blue. I mean, I don't really know what's happening there, but that looks kind of crazy. The daughter of a powerful but disgraced blood worker, Shawn LeClaire has spent her entire life perfecting her blood magic, building her network of spies and gathering scraps of power. Now, to protect her brother, she assassinates their family and takes her place at the head of the family. Samuel Hutchinson is a bastard with a terrible gift. When he stumbles upon the first victim of a magical serial killer, he's drawn into the world of sorcery and intrigue he's worked so hard to avoid. It is pulled deeply into the ravenous and bloodthirsty court of the Vampire King. I will probably be rereading the first one before going into the second one because it has been a while. The next book, I also got this off of Pango. I read the paperback of this book like maybe a week ago. Loved it so much. The cover of the paperback is absolutely stunning. I'll put a picture of it right here. I saw this at such a good price. I couldn't not get it. This is the Illumicrate edition of The Prince Without Sorrow by Maitri Wijesakara. This is just so, it's on the book, not me. So beautiful. The hardcover just has this like gold foiling, and the end pages. This story was so interesting. It doesn't have the best reviews on Goodreads as far as what I could tell. I believe this is a debut novel by this author. A lot of people had a problem with the writing style of this book. I loved it. I felt very immersed in the story. A prince born into violence. Prince Ashoka is considered an outcast for opposing his father, Emperor Adil Maurya's brutal destruction of the Mayakari witches. Shakti vows retribution for the murder of her aunt and annihilation of her village at the hands of the emperor. In her angst, Shakti casts a violent curse, the consequences of which will leave both her and Ashoka grappling for power. Do they take it and risk becoming what they most hate, or do they risk losing power completely as the world around them is destroyed? I will absolutely be continuing with this series. This was so good. The next book, I did get this in one of my Fairyloot boxes, and this is Fallen City by Adrienne Young. Now, I have read books by this author before. This is such a beautiful edition. Unfortunately, I have not loved books by this author, but I'm hoping that's different this time. The hardcover of this book is so beautiful. Luca Midas has one purpose, to carry on the family name, maintaining its presence in the forum once his powerful and cruel uncle dies. But his noviceship with the city's philosopher places him in the middle of a catastrophe that will alter the destiny of his people. Maris Casperia was raised amidst the strategic maneuvers of the Citadel's inner workings, and she knows what her future holds, a lifetime of service to a corrupt city. But her years of serving as a novice to the last priestess who possesses the stolen magic of the old war has made her envision a different kind of future for the city. When she meets Luca, a fated chain of events is set into motion that will divinely entangle their lives. Lucas and Maris hatch a plot to create a calculated alliance that could tip the scales of power, but when an execution forces Luca to become the symbol of a rebellion, he and Maris are thrown onto opposite sides of a holy war. As their fates diverge, they learn they are at the center of a story the gods are writing, and even if they can find their way back to each other, there may be nothing left. This sounds really good. I hope I like it. The next book is another special edition. I got this on Pango, where I listened to the audiobook of this book and I loved it. And this is Worthy of Fate by A.N. Caudle, or Caudle, I believe it's Caudle. So beautiful. This series in particular is getting traditionally published, so we will be getting new covers for the books. The second book, however, isn't supposed to come out until September of 2026. Sorry, there's a dog here, which is quite a while. What are you doing? Go lay down. The audiobook was really, really well done. I really like the narrators. We are basically following one of our main characters as she is going through these trials. She's definitely up there on one of my favorite female main characters. She is such a badass, but also so soft. Our main male character, he's like the ruler of a kingdom, and he is longing for his fated mate, but his council is basically telling him that if he meets his fated mate, then it's just not going to be good. Bad things are going to happen. I did talk about this book in my last video, so if you want an actual summary of it, go check that one out. The next book, I also got this from Allurial. This is my November Allurial book, and I picked The Sacred Space Between by Callie Reed. The cover of this is super pretty. I believe Allurial has special covers. The sprayed edges on this look like a cathedral window. and we have stained glass on the inside. The Abbey has controlled the minds of its patrons for a millennium through memory magic. At 15, Jude was exiled to the bleak moors in the countryside so that the Abbey could maintain control over his magic. Almost a decade later, he wants to live a normal life free from its oppressive gaze. When the Abbey sends Maeve, a stubbornly devout iconographer, to paint an updated icon of him, Jude makes it his mission to get rid of her as soon as possible. That is, until he discovers she holds the same tainted magic of the saints as he does, and that the icon she paints may be the key to destroying the Abbey's power. The next book is one that I waited so long for, and I'm so excited for this. It's such a cool book. This is Terror at the Gates by Scarlett St. Clair. I almost said Saint Sinclair. By Scarlett St. Clair. I just want you to see how cool this book is. So this is like a plastic overlay. The snake is the overlay. Sit, Joey. Snake is a plastic overlay, and I'll take it off in a second, but look at those edges. They're so beautiful. We've got the hardcover. Look at them. You see them? I'm very excited to reread this before the second one comes out, because the one thing that I did not enjoy about the audiobook was our male narrator, because I could hear him every time he gulped or like smacked his lips, and it just took me out of the story. Thankfully, his chapters are really short. This is one of his chapters. Okay. It's short. All right, so this is the first book in the Blood of Lilith series. Estranged from her powerful family, Lilith Leviathan finds refuge in Nineveh, a district in the city of Eden devoted to sin. There she uses her magic to steal for a living, attracting the attention of the 5 governing families as well as the church, which expects women to remain pious and silent. When Lilith comes into possession of a beautiful blade, she thinks all her worries are over, until her usual buyer dies while inspecting it. Frantic, Lilith turns to the only man who can help her, Zahariv, head of the Zareth family and ruler of Nineveh. His currency is information and his power is extortion, though he's always had a soft spot for Lilith. But when the dagger appears, he isn't sure he can protect her from what's to come. Together, they embark on a mission to discover the true power of running their world. As their lives intertwine, Lilith realizes Zahariv is more than just a friend, but their devotion to each other is a threat to the truth, to the church, and to those who want to tear it all down. The next book I want to talk about is from Barnes & Noble, and this is Heat of the Everflame by Pango. This has really pretty sprayed edges. This is a really, really great slow burn fantasy romance. I love our characters in this. When old secrets catch fire, everything will burn. An immortal world colonized by the gods and ruled over by the Descended, DM Bellator yearns to escape the insular life of her poor village. Her mother's sudden disappearance and the discovery of a dangerous secret about her past offer DM an unexpected opportunity to enter the dark world of Descended royalty and unlock the web of mysteries her mother left behind. With the dying king's handsome, mysterious heir watching her every move and a ruthless mortal alliance recruiting her to join the growing civil war, DM will have to navigate the unwritten rules of love, power, and politics in order to save her family and all of mankind. When I say this is a slow burn romance, this is a slow burn romance, but it is so good. The next book that I got, I have been on the hunt. I have been searching for a special edition copy of this book, and I found one on Pango. I almost went to Etsy to look for like a binding of this book because I don't want to buy the paperback version of it. Some of you might judge me for this one. This is The Web of Silence, duet by Lay Rivers. I'll put up the original cover here. I loved this book. This is a dark taboo romance, and I loved this book. Look at them. I just love them. On the inside, we have a little spider, or actually quite a big spider. There's nothing crazy with this special edition. I think it's nice to have like both books in one because this is the duet. First one I love so much more than the second one, but I cannot wait to reread this. This is from Dark and Disturbed. This is the exclusive limited edition signed by Lay Rivers. Now the last books I'm going to talk about, this is actually a gift. I already gave this to my husband for his birthday. One of his favorite series is The Stormlight Archives by Brandon Sanderson, and I found these stunning mass market paperback editions on Etsy. The sprayed edges. Is that not so stunning? On the top of them, we have lightning, and then on the bottom, it does have the map. There we go. I know he's not going to physically read these ones because they are mass market paperbacks, and the font is so tiny, but he can display these on his shelf. I do need to do a reread of the series. I think I started losing the plot in like the third one, so definitely need to do a reread. But that is it. Those are all of the books that I have acquired recently. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video, which will probably be my November wrap up. But I'll see you there. Bye.